Hello, and welcome back to the final episode of this survival season. This will be the recap episode, like I mentioned in the previous. And yeah, we're gonna get straight into it. So what I did was I copied the survival server save file, right? And what we're doing is just gonna switch it to creative and go in there and check out everything that way for the recap because it'll be much easier. So it's going to load up here. And yeah, if I sound different or I don't speak as like a little less during the commentary, it's because, like I said, I just got back from not feeling very well. And it kind of sucks. Like, if, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, yes. But I'm back. I'm back, and that's what matters. I'm happy to be back. I may not sound like it, but you know, I really am. So let's just get straight into this, guys, and let's talk about this survival season. Yeah, it took a while, I know, but hey, it was my first Minecraft survival season, so you gotta give me a little bit of a break there. So let's, I guess, start over here, because everything's kind of the majority of everything I've ever built in this season is kind of located around tower there. So what did we accomplish this season? Well, I didn't get all my goals accomplished, but I accomplished quite a bit. So we ended up making use of a mob spawner, right? I'm just gonna change that, get rid of that. We don't want the weather bugging us during this. So, yeah, we made use of this spawner, which was a zombie spawner, right, and all that good stuff. I'm not gonna go into extreme detail about everything, but you know, we made use of that spawner. We found a spider spawner over here, right there. And yeah, so that was fun. Plus, I made multiple AFK fish farms. I'm not even gonna show off every one of those. This is where we kill the zombies. The sword that has basically mending and stuff on it. I think I just broke it, but whatever. And yeah, so that was our, well, my two spawners I found there. This was supposed to be like a squid ink farm. I was gonna literally clear the land of most of the water. I was doing it, as you can see. I had walled off big sections that I planned on doing. Eventually got rid of all that. Got rid of all this stuff over here. And yeah, this was an okay attempt. This was supposed to be my passive hostile mob grinder, so you know, hostile mobs that spawn in here, come down, get killed, but it didn't work that great. It was just like, you know, one of my first attempts at a decent mob grinder. Let's see, we built the villager breeder. We have, you know, a bunch of the villagers in there who we would trade with. So that was successful, I'm gonna say, because this thing actually worked. I don't know if it's gonna work for another season, but you know, it's always worth a try because it's a very easy, simple setup to do. You know, there was a piston there and whatnot, but yeah, I took it all out because, like I said, I didn't need it no more. At one point there in the season, this is all Silas's stuff here. I did that for fun, but he didn't jump back on afterwards. And yeah, we have he had a farm here, and then I don't know. Like I said, before he ever jumped back on, I took the time to upgrade it for him. Make it semi-automatic for him, at least. You know, when you flick the switch, water comes out, gets rid of all the crops, you know. And then, basically, yeah. Pistons go back down. And the reason why it might be laggy is because, yeah, the autosave's on. Let's take that off. Usually when I play, if I'm not doing... Well, I usually have it off most of the time. Unless, you know, I think the power's going out. It was pretty much a basic animal barn. Definitely want to automate more of that stuff next season. Definitely. So that's pretty much that section of the base. What we had going on here was, you know, there's my little armor stand buddy just going around and around. Must have went around thousands of times in this season. Automated pumpkin farm and sugarcane farm. Right. So that was cool. And then storage system was down here. And yeah, I know I'm just gonna be like smashing through a lot of stuff here, but I don't really care at this point. It's a recap, you know? That's why we're in creative. We have this as the automatic cactus farm. 2 layers. You could make as many layers as you want the way I designed this. It's pretty good. It works. Let's see, we had another wart farm that was working, and then when the game got updated, yeah, that happened. Soul sand and solid water source blocks ended up creating that problem. Okay, let's see, what else do we got here? This was supposed to be, as you can see, I never finished it, unfortunately. It was supposed to be one of those things where it's a furnace setup where you get XP from it. So, you know, you would hit switches that let items in or out, and, you know, according so, like, I guess to how much was in there. Like I said, I'm just doing my best to explain everything. It's really, not gonna lie, it's strange for me to commentate like I used to. Let's see, we had our beacon set up, which gives us our, you know, haste and regeneration. This was my storage building for the most part. I wanted to make it all obsidian match, but never got around to it, you know, because that took a long time alone to get all that obsidian. This was my attempt at a passive mob farm, like, not hostile mobs, like cows, sheep, chicken, things like that. And then they would fall down to magma blocks. This was a potato farm that was working until, once again, update kinda, with the aquatic update kinda broke that. So now that didn't work anymore. This thing still works, thankfully. This is my mushroom farm, and it's really simple. It's fully automatic. Believe it or not, this is a fully automatic mushroom farm. All you gotta do, well, I guess I can't say it's fully automatic. It's like 90% fully automatic, because the only thing you gotta go down and do is hit that switch in there. And let me demonstrate that. We do that, right? Sends a signal all the way to the end there. Water comes down. You can see it carries all the items with it. And it does not break these blocks, which is kinda important to this build, this mushroom farm build, if you want to try this for yourself. Just, you know, these are the source blocks up here. And then, as you've seen, mushrooms get broken, carried down to that hopper line, right? And then when you turn it off, the way it works is the water goes away, right? And I believe that's like a podzol block or something. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's mycelium. Sorry. So, yeah, this was the mushroom farm, semi-automatic, I'm gonna say. I imagine there's a way you could automate this to be fully automatic. I'm hoping somebody eventually watches this video, you know, and, you know, does that and says, hey, I made your farm fully automatic. Sweet. I want to check it out. I want to use it, because this was a really good mushroom farm design, and I plan on doing the same thing again. Sometimes, yeah, I had to replace this block because an Enderman took it. I don't know, I guess, I don't know, like, it didn't disappear on its own. And I know Endermen can pick up certain types of blocks, and then they kind of just place them somewhere. But anyways, let's continue. I had a rail minecart system to get me. This was originally going to be like a Sorry about that. It was originally going to be a rail, like a minecart station to go to different areas. That was the intention. But I wanted to put a lighting system up here, utilizing the, what are they? The sea lanterns. And I'll show you what I mean. I was going to do like a, every so many blocks with maybe, I was thinking either clear glass or stained glass. I think it would have looked nice, if I went every something like that. That was the idea though. That was the ambitious goal there. But sometimes I set quite the ambitious goals for myself. Oh well. So what we got going on here is one of the flower farms. If anybody's watched my survival series up until this point, this is one of the flower dye farms I had built. And this is a sugar cane. It was my attempt at a, I don't know, fully auto sugarcane farm, I guess. It is strange as that sounds. So what would happen is you hit that right, and as long as that's down, the flying machine would go like back and forth. Apparently there's a sheep in there. But yeah, what happens is, as you can see, all the sugarcane kind of, whatever does fall in between, so it's not completely lossless, unfortunately. But yeah, it collects most of it for you, and it would put it down here. As you see, I was using it quite a bit before there. The sheep got pushed out. But yeah, it's pretty nifty. You can do the same thing with bamboo. That's what gave me the idea. That's why this is here. It's kind of outlined in this perimeter. That same flying machine I built there would have no issue just tearing across there, chopping it down for you. And then all you do is collect it, right? And you could probably do that with a, high minecart with hopper underneath, with a little track going around there. That's probably the best way, but I didn't really bother. But yeah, that's the semi-automatic sugarcane farm I had made. Thought that was cool. Never fully finished that either. Like I said, I had lots of ambitious ideas, and I never got around to them because I didn't have enough help or I didn't have enough time, things of that nature. There wasn't much I could do, right? I'm only one man. So this is where one of the stops would have led to, because that's a that's a fair distance, right? That's a good distance away. And we had been to the end, as you can see. I went and got an elytra somewhere. I put the stupid thing somewhere, I can't remember. This was another dye farm. And essentially, right, you would just turn that off, which does a whole bunch of redstone stuff back there. And you can hear the dispenser trying to dispense bone meal, but I don't believe there is any. It's a little bit of a mess back here. Probably could have been done a lot better, but I made it work for what it was. Because this is sending signals. Oh boy, so that goes there, that turns on the dispenser over in that section, and it comes down here, and keeps the signal kind of going, and that's where the dispenser would be right here. So if we did have bone meal, right, just get a bunch of bone meal, show you what happened. So now you can hear different noises going on, right? Now it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. And unfortunately, mobs do spawn on those types of blocks, right? I have no idea how that block got there, though. That's very interesting. It almost looks like coarse dirt. But yeah, what it would do is just kind of collect the flowers and seeds and stuff for you. So there's a chance, right, the flowers will grow. But like I said, I don't even know if this machine properly works anymore since the couple updates since I built. Oh no, it Cool. So yeah, basically all flowers do that. One of these is for flowers. Apparently chickens like to get in this machine. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of eggs. Holy shiza. Yeah, so that's the second dyeing machine. Now this, well, this is kind of obvious if you know a little bit about your redstone and auto farms. This is an automatic kelp farm. It's not a very big one, but it's big enough to do the job for, like, me being the one player in this world most of the time. This was the auto smooth stone smelter I had created. I'll be making a better version of this in the future, don't worry guys. This is kind of like, it's always going to be bulky, but I don't like this circuit right here. The circuit is a fast firing circuit, but you don't need it for this type of smelter. You just need one that can fire a single pulse, and that would send the item up through a glass elevator or something, right? But yeah, so I'm gonna come up with my own design. You know, I don't mind using other people's builds and mechanisms and all that good stuff in Minecraft. You know, when it comes to redstone, technical stuff, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But this one, yeah, like, I like coming up with my own stuff, and that's kind of how the creation of this came into being. I'd seen this circuit before, you know, learned how to do it. And this is a sorting item sorter. So what it sorts out is the smooth stone. Let me show you this thing. Action, let's see, do we have, oh yeah. It always has fuel for the most part because I hooked it up to an automatic bamboo farm up there. As you can see right here. Thought that was a, you know, good idea. Over here, just so you know, if you're wondering, is just another automatic, two more automatic bamboo farms. And all they do is essentially just feed bamboo into this section. And if you come all the way around, you got this back here, which is tons and tons and tons of bamboo. And the reason that is because you go through it so fast. It takes 4 pieces of bamboo to smelt any item, okay? Like, and the way this machine works is, it's kind of funny. It just chews through that bamboo like it was nothing. Alright, so I'm not gonna take a lot. Let's just take 3 as the example here. So what I do is, right, in survival, I'd climb up the ladder. Then I would take the whatever cobblestone I want to turn into smooth stone, right? What happens is the item sorter will filter out only smooth stone, right? Because that's what it's set for. So when this furnace cooks these, it goes back up through this glass item elevator, back into here. So this chest is kind of like a buffer to help, well, to help the hopper buffer cobblestone and smooth stone, right? So eventually, once the amount of cobblestone you put in is done smelting, it'll switch over, right, to your stone, which has to go through the furnace again to become smooth stone. And you'll see right there. So it's kind of bulky, but you know what? I came up with it. I'm happy. I like it. That's all that matters. People can say it's not the best, but you know, whatever. So over here we got a the concept of a auto fuel machine. Like, it completely makes fuel on your own except for one minor detail. That detail is, right, you would have to take, say I'd take all this, right, and that's why I have the crafting table right here. You'd go to this section and then you'd make a kelp block, a dried kelp block. The dried kelp blocks can smelt, I think, over 15 items. I'm not sure of the exact amount, but it's over 15. I think it's about 20 or something. But yeah, you know, I'd make those and then see if I was in survival, right? And I just step on my little elevator. And I put them in there. And then they'd all go into here. And I kind of just set it as a filter, right? Just in case there was those odd leftovers. And then that way I could take them out after and do whatever with them. So yeah, basically how this machine works is it uses our auto kelp farm to feed kelp into this smoker, because kelp, believe it or not, when you cook it, you can eat dried kelp. So not only is it a fuel source, it's a food source too, right? So like you can eat all that, but it's best just to use it as fuel unless you need to eat it. And then up here is what you might guess, an unlimited fuel source, right? So let me just get rid of that. Another bamboo farm, right? As you can see, it goes from this setup all the way in there. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now that broke. I'll get to that in a second, because it is broken. It don't work no more. But I already have a solution for that nonsense. So over here, semi-automatic potato farm. Same concept. Pistons hold back source blocks of water that would wash away the stuff when it's done. This is something I'm definitely doing in my next survival season. I want to implement a auto bone meal machine, because bone meal can be quite useful for, you know, basically tree farms, if you're trying to get dyes, things of that nature. So since the update, right, we got this thing called a composter. And essentially when you have dried kelp, right, you take your dried kelp, put it in like this, and then with a hopper underneath leading into a storage container of some kind you're choosing, right? Yeah, the thing just continuously does it, right? So it's always making bone meal, and eventually what'll happen is it'll back up. But this thing takes so much bone meal because of the low percentage chance. What I mean by that is, let me show you. So if we take some some kelp. Right, it says fill down there. I know it might be hard to see, but it says L2 for fill, right? And that's what the hopper is doing for you, right? So normally, if you didn't have that hopper there, as you can see, it just takes lots of it, right? And then that happens. And when you put the next one in, it just automatically pops up bone meal. So it's kind of just more efficient to have something do this for you because of the low percentage chance it takes. And what I mean is, I'll do an even better example. So now you'll actually see out of a stack how much it's going to consume to create one bone meal. So that's a fair little bit, right? And those percentages are always random within a certain range. So one stack would get you about 3 to 5 pieces of bone meal. So when you actually do the math on that, you need a big kelp farm to actually be able to keep up with those numbers, right? So yeah, that's why I did it that way. Get rid of that stuff. Alright, so over here was an AFK fish farm, as you guys know. If you watch my survival series, once again, this just leads down to a auto smelting system I set up here. There's my little parrot buddy that I recovered from the jungle a while back. Let's see. These were the sorting systems for my AFK fish farm. There's it sorts out quite a bit. Let's see, we got raw salmon, raw cod, pufferfish, lily pads, those are tripwire hooks. Got their sticks, name tags, bone, bowls, and rotten flesh, and we got tropical fish. Because those are things I didn't need to store. To be honest, like I just needed, you know, these things. These are what I wanted to keep, plus the books and the fishing rods, just in case mine accidentally broke. And all that was behind here, if you ever never ever seen me build this on camera, it's just a bunch of storage. Whole bunch of storage for it. That, you know. So, you know, I could at least AFK fish for my fair share of time, I guess I'll say. Right, and that's what the black and yellow striped line here is for. It marks out where the hoppers actually are, as you can see. And those are the hoppers that run across all the way to those chests. The reason why there's carpet everywhere else is because an enderman actually killed me in here when I was AFK fishing one time. Oh, those buggers. And then this eventually I added on. It became a storage. There's like just chest upon chest back here, eh? That's all it is. You know, just lots of storage. And yeah, and then all you had to do was basically come over here, open up this, and this is where all my books went. Like, I had, I don't know how many, just tons. What's in here? Just tons of books from fishing, okay? It's kind of ridiculous after a while. So you need something to do with them, right? Or else they'll just clog up the system. So every time I get a big bunch of them, I would literally just store them down here. I didn't know what else to do with them. But now this idea is actually really good, because now we got a new item in the game. And that would be this guy. This block right here, the grindstone. Now I say this is going to be more useful now in the future forward. Is because if we take a grindstone, right? We just stick it on top of the crafting table, why the hell not? Let's grab some books, right? Now, from what I've learned about this thing, it's very cool. This works the way I think it's going. So we got 6 levels, right? Supposedly, you can disenchant these. You know, book or whatever. Now I got 8 levels. If you can't feed a hopper into this, unfortunately, but you see what I'm getting at, right? All these books from fishing that you don't ever plan on using have just became an XP source for you, right? 17 levels just from that many books. So imagine if I went through a whole chest of these. Like, you could just constantly enchant things over and over again, right? That's what's so cool about that idea. So this whole book storage, or I guess, what would you call these? They're enchanted books. I was gonna say magic books, but they're enchanted books. Yeah. Enchanted book storage, very awesome idea, I think. Just for that reason alone. And there's lots of stuff up here, but it's just more, you know, it's like area I didn't want to fill, you know, and so I just lit it up. So we don't got too much left. This was an attempt at trying to get turtles to breed so I could make that cool turtle helmet. Like I said though, turtle eggs are kind of tricky to get. This is just a mob farm I made. Harvest raw flesh, because sometimes you need that for other things. Trophy. What else is there? This thing doesn't work though. Since they updated the way villagers work and stuff, this thing just stopped working. But I had found a iron golem farm Because I didn't feel like trying to fight with the mechanics of this. If you watched my season, you'd know I got really frustrated at some points, even if I didn't seem like it. I got frustrated, I'm not gonna lie, trying to get this thing to work the best it could. And everything that I had learned was either lies or it didn't work at all, you know. So, yeah. I actually found one that works for PS4 Minecraft, like Minecraft PlayStation 4 edition, because I did a whole bunch of research and learned that some iron farms will work on the PlayStation 4 edition of Minecraft, some will work on the Xbox, some will work on, you know, so on and so forth. So I found one and we're going to build it in next survival season, I believe. I really want to. It's weird because the new iron farm for PS4 edition for Minecraft is not only an iron farm, it's a iron. It also drops those flowers, these red ones here, the poppies. It's a poppy farm, an iron farm, and a string farm, believe it or not. So that'll be interesting to see. Now the only other thing, and it's just much faster to fly, but you can see it on the map where I'm heading to, because we pretty much recap the majority of the base, and the base is a little spread out, but I built most of this myself, which is kind of mental. You know, like, I know people have built more in less amount of time, but for me in my first season, like, that's not bad at all. That's quite a bit, you gotta admit. The only thing I kind of regret not doing is building statues. I wanted to build a statue somewhere in the middle. Like, I was thinking of, like, leveling this off, landscape it all right, and then build, like, a big creeper statue or something. I don't know, something cool there. But yeah, we're gonna go this way, towards the, Guardian farm. Now I'm kind of disappointed that I couldn't get this to work, I'm not gonna lie. But there was nothing I could do. Nothing I could do about it. Here's the tunnel. This is actually the tunnel I built, the railway. That took a while, but it was worth it. It got me, not only it got me a trophy for traveling 500 blocks in a single direction, supposedly, even though it doesn't go in a single damn direction. It actually makes a couple turns. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. Believe it or not. Like I said, if you'll notice, my commentary is going to be different from this point forward because, long story short, guys, I was having these nosebleeds and it was lasting for months. And if you know anything about what I'm about to say, you know it's not fun. I had to get my nose cauterized. That's how bad it was getting. So that's why I wasn't making videos for a few months. I hope everyone can understand, like, if I'm not in good enough health, right, to make videos for you know, to watch and see, you know, it'll just eventually end. So I gotta deal with my health first, right, and try and keep myself healthy as I can be. I hope, like I said, everyone understands that, you know, I was trying. I plan on completing the Surge for any of my viewers who do watch most of my videos and was enjoying the Surge. I am gonna finish that. And the last video of that, I will ask everyone if they want me to continue. So yeah. I had successfully cleared out the temple, as you could see. That wasn't the problem. I had made a copy, like a test world of this, to try and source out the issue. Like, I literally cleared out everywhere. I made this, you know, nice little area here. Lit it all up. What I was having issues with, because this is technically an older older design, right? It's not the this is not how Guardian farms are made anymore. So we're gonna try the new meta and see if it works, like, because I don't feel like fighting with this either, just like the Iron Golem farm. I'll give somebody else's design a try, you know, see if it works or not. But yeah, I couldn't get them to spawn. I tried like for hours and hours and hours, I'm not even kidding, for so long, just to get the stupid thing to work in Creative World. And I tried different things. I tried putting water blocks here and there. I tried, you know, I did research and I looked up as much information as I could about how guardians spawn in general, things of that nature, right? Like I did my best, guys, but hey, you got, man, I cleared out all this by myself. That's quite the accomplishment. But we are not doing this next season. Hell no. This is just, ugh. Just looking at it, thinking about how many blocks I cleared. It kind of sickens me. Not gonna lie, it sickens me. I thought this was interesting though. So, I had this here the whole time I was working on it, right? So it would reach all the way in that perimeter in there when I was taking care of water. Didn't have to worry about drowning, right? To death. But every now and then, as you've seen, there was stuff up there. The stupid enemies here, the drowned zombies, they would make their way over to this thing and they'd get killed by it. And I was like seeing all kinds of stuff pop up here every now and then. I was just like, okay. You know? But yeah. That's the majority of things. Like, here's all the sand. Some of it was used elsewhere after I had removed it. But as you guys could see, I went through a lot of sand. And gravel. Can't forget the gravel. Because you gotta keep in mind, if these chests are full up here, that means every hopper is full too. That's an absurd amount of sand. But yeah. That will be... Oh, other than one thing, I made a jungle kind of like house type thing to get the, you know, to be able to get bamboo in the first place, because I was nowhere near a biome, right, that actually grew this stuff. Like, literally, a jungle biome is the farthest thing from me in this world. Like, that's the honest to God truth, so I went searching for the damn thing. And then the way I had to get the bamboo is, like, if anybody, like I said, has watched and remembers me saying, I quite literally had to fish for it. Because I couldn't find any in the actual surrounding area. But that's okay. It was a fun experience, you know, traveling. And we're gonna do more of that, like, because like I said, there's no, like, a lot of new stuff in the update. We got blast furnaces, we got smithing tables, we got all these, we got new types of storage. So, you know, I was messing around with that stuff in a creative world when I was recovering and getting better. So, you know, I got like an idea of what I want to do there. The only thing that's gonna bother me is I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to figure out how do you get a creeper head. Because you need a creeper head for... Where are the things? Where are they? These things right here. So these are used with the loom. Right, if I had that, and I had this block, and then I go in here, right, it's like grab a, I don't know, black, I guess. Freaking care. Which color? Dyes. So, you know, you could take lime green, I don't know. No, let's go with that. Right? And there's a bunch of these things called banner patterns. And what they do is when you build one of these in your world, and then you have a banner, right? So you would select that banner. And you got your usual options here, like always. Different color requirements, stuff like that. Actually, let's see. Because you can add it, right? And then for these ones, so this one you need a pattern, as you can see. I don't have the option to, you know, click the recipe info that shows the actual detail on what the item's called, but yeah, that's a stone brick pattern, essentially. And I was like, okay, So patterns, you gotta make patterns. And then when I did research on these things, they're reusable, which is actually really good. Because sometimes you need a wither skull, right, to put the skull on a banner. So, you know, these ones, right, the creeper charge is how it's not red there anymore. So if we wanted to, right, we could go like that. But we would need the actual thing, right? Like, so if we create that, that's what we have now. You know, it actually looks really cool. It's basic. It's so basic, but it looks cool. That's why I said I need to learn how to get those. I know there's a way. There has to be a way. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and anybody who has followed me from the very first episode of my survival season to this recap episode, which is pretty much the end. Yeah, it's been lots of fun. Like I said, there will be another season, but instead of building the giant tower like I did before there, we're actually going to do things differently. Yeah. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get myself a starting house or whatever, but I want to be able to get to the end quicker, so I'll give myself I'll take the time and put the hours off camera, right, work at it, and get myself situated. And we're also gonna change difficulty from easy to normal, and that's gonna happen with each season, right? I'm try and do a season on normal, complete it, and then the season after that we'll do hard. Why? Well, I just want to, you know, I like a challenge. Some things, sometimes, like I said, I kind of challenge myself too much, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, I forgot about this thing. This is my, strangely made, I'm gonna call it strangely made cobblestone factory. Stop it. Okay, so hopper timer. Starts a cobblestone creating machine. Well, cobblestone generator. That's what it's called. As you can see, it's created. I had to figure out the timing for this, but you know, that's the beauty of a hopper timer. You can actually do that. And what it does is it just keeps creating blocks and creating blocks and blocks. And this was before observers were added into the game, keep in mind. So this is a bud switch, I believe it's called. And that cobblestone at the end here reaches that. It'll activate everything. Just like that. And this will keep going and going until this row fills up to here. And that goes all the way up to here. So it yields quite a bit just for, you know, doing all that stuff on its own. And then yeah, just a system to smelt it all down. I don't think there's anything in here, but whatever. So yeah, that has been this season, guys. It has been lots of fun. It really has been. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed with myself that I couldn't get that stupid Guardian farm to work, considering I got all this other stuff to work. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.